Hey y'all, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to show you how I made this totally awesome Halloween apothecary coffin shelf using, guess what? Cardboard. Yes, I'm going to show you how I made this out of cardboard and toilet paper. Stay tuned and I'm going to show you how to make it. All right, y'all, let us get started. So I saw this adorable little coffin shelf type deal. It was online, it was on Pinterest, can't remember where I saw it. But anyway, I'm like, I don't want to pay that for that. So I'm like, we can make one. I have here, this is one of my tarot decks, one of my favorite tarot decks. Listen. But anyway, I'm like, this box would be a good template. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this tarot deck, and I have a piece of cardboard. I was cleaning out the storage building, and a box fell apart. And I'm like, I don't feel like throwing it away. I can reuse it. So I'm just going to take a pen here, and I'm just going to trace this. Why are you not writing? I'm just going to trace the outline of this box. Now, you can look up like coffin shapes online and print it out, cut it out, and use that for your template. You could draw it freehand, however you want to do it, doesn't matter. But since I had this box, I'm going to use it. So I'm just going to trace this, and then I'm going to cut it out. Okay, so now we have two pieces of our cardboard. It looks like little coffins. So, and don't give me a lecture on tarot. I don't want to hear it. I'm so sick of judgmental people. I really am. Live your life. Let me live my life. So we are going to take both pieces because you want the back of this to be really sturdy, okay? And you want to line them up the best that you can, okay? And now we're going to be putting them together, and I'm going to be using painter's tape. Why are we using this? Has got paint or something all over it. Like I said, I dragged out a whole bunch of stuff from storage yesterday. I got stuff everywhere. So we're just going to take some of this painter's tape and just cut a piece, or tear a piece rather. And let's see, let's start right here. Now, why am I going to use painter's tape to stick this together? Because here in a minute, I'm going to be using some Mod Podge. And the Mod Podge needs something to really stick to. And you see like the rough finish on this tape? I think that would work better than packing tape or something of that nature. You have paper tape, of course, you could use that. So now we're just going to stick this together. Try to get this as smooth as possible, okay? Get it as smooth as possible. Really work with this. And now let's put another piece on the other side to hold it down. Like I said, try to make sure that your shapes are really lining up here. You could do this with any shape you wanted to, but spooky season is a-coming. So that's why I'm doing a coffin. Okay. And now I'm going to put some on the other side. So I'm just going to bring it down a little bit because we really want this to stick. Get this off. Why are you here? Oh my gosh. Things just stick to me. They're like my ex. They just stick and they won't go away. All right. So now just flip this. And now what you're going to do is you're going to do this all the way around. Okay? All the way around to make sure that this is nice and held together. You could even glue these two pieces together if you wanted to. I just don't feel like gluing it right now because this is going to work just fine. But put your tape all the way around and I'll be back. All right, so I have a strip of cardboard here and I'll cut another one. But I'm just trying to give you the idea here. So now what we're going to do, I cut this 2.5 inches wide. Okay, 2.5 inches wide. So let's see. I'm going to start. If I fix this to a base, it might be smart to start down here at the bottom. That way you can hide any little maybe imperfections or whatever. So then you're going to start, and then you're just going to mark where you want it to start to bend, which is going to be right here. It's going to need to start to bend right here. Okay. And then you kind of score. If you have a scoring tool, that's cool. Use that. I'm just using the ballpoint pen. See, I kind of just withdrew it and just kind of put a little pressure there, because basically all that we're going to do now is we're just going to start bending the cardboard around the shape that you have made, and then we're going to glue it on there, okay? So we're just going to do this. I don't know where my scoring tool is. Okay, just going to kind of bend it like so. Just bend it up. Okay, and this is not going to be perfect, okay? It's okay, because we're going to add on more painter's tape. All right, and then you're just going to do that same thing all the way around your piece, okay? See how that fits there? Now let's bring it up. Now I'm doing this now before I glue it. It's just going to help it to kind of hold its, hold its shape. Okay, so I'm going to mark that there, and then just bring the line up, and I'm just going to score it again, and then I'm just going to bend it on that line, okay? And of course, I'm going to have to cut a second piece of cardboard and do this same thing, okay? So let me work on this, and then we'll come back. I'll show you what I got. Okay, I think my hot glue gun over here is almost warmed up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue on one side first, and then that's going to help me to get the other side in position before I start marking and bending this piece over here. Look, I've got it all over me. Oh my goodness. So, like I said, I've got this one bent. All right, so I think my glue gun is ready. You know what? Let me put it right here. And don't worry if your hot glue oozes out a little bit, okay? Because once again, we are going to go around and we're going to cover up all of the edges with painter's tape. So I'm just going to hold that in place. Now, why did I not cover this with painter's tape before I started? Because when you put these together, you're going to have a seam, and you're going to run tape across there to cover up that seam, okay? So let's hold that in place and wait for that to set up for a minute. All right, so now let's put some hot glue here. Okay, now make sure that it's kind of laying on something flat so that your cardboard here is going to be flush with the back of this piece here. And if it's not 100% flush, like I said, don't worry about it, because we're going to cover it up with some painter's tape. And then we're going to decoupage some stuff on here in a minute. We're just going to cover all of it up and make it all look uniform, okay? All right, so now I'm just going to glue this all the way around, and then I'm going to put this piece of cardboard here and bend it in the places where we bent the other one, just like we did over here. I'm going to glue that one in place, and then we're really going to start making it come together. Okay, I chipped one of my nails off. It just went flying. I don't know where I went. So I just had to stick on another one, and that one is a white bottomed one, so they don't match. But anyway, I just ordered another set, and I'm going to be replacing them all in the next day or so anyway. But anyway, I went ahead and I took the painter's tape and I just put here, you can see like where the two seams came together. And now what we're going to do is put it all the way around here to cover up this rough edge, okay? Just like we did a while ago. No different. We're just going to put it here, and it's fine. Whoa, the scissors. We're just going to trim it down, and then I'm going to do it, like I said, just like I did over there, over there, down there, just to give us a nice, smoother edge. Okay, so now let's put some shelves in here. So basically, I just cut a strip of cardboard, and it's as tall as this is, the 2.5 inches wide. And we're probably going to have to trim that down because, you know, we had glued it to this back piece here, so we're going to have to probably trim this down a little bit. But let me just mark that right there. Did I mark it good enough? Probably not. I just laid my pen down over there. Okay, so now you're just going to cut this, and this is going to be a shelf. So let's see if it'll fit down in there. We're going to have to trim, and you're just going to have to trim a little bit, fit it down in there. Okay. And now we're just going to trim a little bit off the top here, just a tad. Just a tad. And then however many shelves you want, that's how many pieces that you would cut, of course. Get it down in there. Why are you moving? Okay, so that's going to look good for that shelf. And once again, with the painter's tape, we're going to go over here and let's see. So let's set this up and try to see about where I want my next one. That one looks good right there. Yeah, so let's just mark that right there. And then we're going to just cut that, and then we're going to have to trim it down again to make it fit. So I'll do that and be back. Okay, so if you want to, this is what we have. You can use just a tad bit of glue just to hold it in place. And then once again, we're going to cover all this up with our painter's tape to make it all nice and smooth, okay? I'm just putting a little bit here in the corners. But once we get everything together, it's going to hold in place. Don't worry about it. Once again, take your painter's tape, cover this, and then you can also take it and put it here and put it here. Every place, I guess you could say, where your cardboard joins, you can use your painter's tape there. But once we get everything put on there, it's you're not going to see any of this, okay? So don't worry about that. I just really want my edges to make sure that they're really smooth, okay? Yes, this is a process, but the moon one that I did was really cute, and I was really happy with it. And I've been wanting to do another one, you know, in that manner. But I think this one will be cute too. All right, so I'm going to put my tape everywhere and be back. So now what we're going to do is you're going to tear up tiny little pieces of toilet paper, and this can get messy. We're just going to tear up little pieces. Come on, Charmin, help me out. Little at a time. And we're just going to put that on there. And this is going to give us some really nice texture. You can wrinkle it to make it, you know, look old and weathered. You can use paper towels for this. There's a nap. You can use paper towels. You can use tissue paper, like the tissue paper that you would use for gift giving. You can use that. I'm just going to use toilet paper. So you are just going to brush on your Mod Podge, like so, and you're going to cover your entire piece. You could tap it like this. You see how it kind of bubbles up like that? Give us some nice texture. And then with your painter's tape here, it's really going to help to hide that it's not all one piece. So this is going to take me quite a while, so I'm going to continue on in this manner. Let some of this dry, come back, put on some more. And when that is done, we're going to paint it. Okay, so we have this. This is pretty dry. Look at that texture. Look at that texture. Isn't that awesome? I've got paint and stuff all over me, but isn't that cool? Now, I did not put it on the back here, okay? Because I am going to attach some lights to the back, and if it was rough, I was afraid that, you know, it wouldn't adhere. And also, I didn't want to have to go through so many layers to get the lights in. So I have a trusty knife here, and what I'm going to do is I am just going to cut a slit so that we can get some lights in here, okay? So I'm just going to take this knife and go in there, just over here, and you're not going to see this, okay? Because I'm going to put some stuff on this shelf here in a little bit. You're not going to see this. But I am just going to, there we go, just make a hole. And these fairy lights here are very thin. You don't need a big space at all for them to go in, okay? So I'm going to do that, put the lights in, and come back. Okay, so I've got the hole in the back here, and you see I'm just kind of pulling the lights through. Now this is a good amount of lights here, so I'm just going to pull a handful in, and then let's just kind of curl that down there just to kind of hold it in place. Now let's see about how many I've got here. I think I can pull, hold on. Why are you, oh lordy. All right, let's just pull a few more through. Okay. So now you're going to go, we're going to bring this up, and then you're just going to tuck them down right there and pull it through. I really do wish I still had that moon one. I'll make another one. I had painted it purple, and I just used it, you know, as a place to put some of my crystals. It was so beautiful. But I'll do another one. I'll just push that down in there. Now these lights don't get hot. I've never experienced them getting hot, so I wouldn't worry about it. But let's push that down in there, and you're just going to pull it through. So I'm trying to keep this video as short as possible. I know it's already long enough. Okay, let's push this through. Now with your battery pack here, you can stick some Velcro on that and stick the Velcro to the back of your shelf here and just stick it there if you want to. Or you can just have it laying down behind and you can hide it. So we have all of these lights here, and I'm just tucking them down. And now what we're going to do is, my cat's in here. What we're going to do is we are going to glue down some moss to the bottom of it, and then we're going to put whatever you want in it. So let me get my glue gun going and we'll do that. All right, so let's see what I have here. Got my hot glue gun ready, and all I'm going to do is I'm just going to try to tack these down just a little bit so that they're not sticking up so much, because we're going to glue some moss down in here in a minute. Okay, and the moss is going to hold these lights down, but I'm just trying to tack them down here and there just to kind of help the process along. I need to, let me rearrange these top ones a little bit. I don't like, okay, that's better. That's better. Just hold this down here, and I'm going to put a blob of glue there and there. Okay. All right. So let's let this glue set up, and we're going to glue in some moss. All right. So I have both kinds of moss here. I just hit my chimes. Spanish moss, and then this other, I think this is like more like reindeer moss. You can get all different kinds of moss at Dollar Tree, okay? So now we're just going to glue this down in there, here and there, and we're going to cover up all of these lights and wires and whatnot. So let's just put some here. My glue gun isn't quite hot enough, but it's enough to get started. Okay, and then we're just going to stick the moss down in there like so. You're still going to be able to see the lights. They just aren't going to be as blaringly bright as they are right now. All right, so I'm going to put the moss on all of the shelves. Okay, looking good so far. Can y'all see the lights in there? So now I have a few things. Look at these bottles. Dollar Tree. I'm going to say this again because people are always asking me where I get things, and I tell them and they're not listening. Dollar Tree. And I just got these like last week. What is today? August 3rd or something? I don't know. But I got these at Dollar Tree. There's 3 different sizes. And let's open up the big ones here. These are so cute. I got a bunch of these, actually. Look at this. We got Witch's Brew. And I believe all of the labels are the same. They're just different sizes. So we have Wool of Bat, Trimmed Spider Hair, and Unfiltered Poison. All right. So now I'm just going to use these, and I think this tall one will fit nicely right here. I'm just going to make a little space for it, and then I'm going to glue it down. And here, because that was basically why I made this to begin with. I wanted it to be sort of like a little apothecary cabinet, I guess you could say. And then you can see I have a bag of skulls over here, and we're going to break those open here in a minute. But I'm going to have to hold all of these in place until the glue sets up. Now, if you have cats, dogs, and feral children, I know I'm using hot glue. And if you need to back this up with some E6000 to make sure that it's not going to fall apart or go anywhere, then by all means do so. But let's go ahead and cut these skulls open. I try to put a lot of effort into my Halloween crafts, okay? And I hope y'all appreciate it. Y'all know Halloween is my absolute favorite thing. I think I'm going to put the skull down here in the bottom. My house is spooky year-round. All of my Halloween decor stays out. So I try to really put some effort in it. But let's put this skull here. Now I am just going to glue the bottles in. I also have a ton of crystals. I might glue a crystal or 2 in there. I don't know. I'm just going to glue things in there and set it up, and we'll see what I come up with, okay? So let me finish gluing everything in and we'll take a look. We're also going to glue it down to this base. Now this base here, this is just a wooden plaque that I got at Dollar Tree and I painted it black, okay? But let me work on this. Okay, I cannot tell y'all how happy I am with this so far. This is what I have. I've glued in a bunch of crystals. There's my skull and another little bottle. Oh, this looks so much better in person. Let's see, now I'm going to hot glue this down to this. Try to see about where it is right here. I'm just going to put a bunch of hot glue, okay? Like I said, if you have kids or something or animals that might bump into this, then please back this up with some E6000. So then I'm just going to stick it down right there. I'm trying to get it centered. I'm going to glue some more moss around it, okay? All right, so let's put that there. And now the weight of that is pressing down and should hold that just fine. So now let's get some more moss, and I might put another skull there, some crystals, I don't know. Where did my moss go? Oh Lord, I'll throw it way back here. I apologize if this video is very long. I'm sorry. I get carried away with Halloween, I do. This is Halloween, this is Halloween. Amber's crafting, better watch out. All right, so now I'm just gonna put more moss here. More moss on the other side. Might glue some more crystals down or something. If I do, you will definitely see that. But that is pretty much that. So I hope that you liked this video. I really do. I worked hard on it. I've been working on this thing all daggone day. So if you would, please give it a thumbs up. Click subscribe. Check me out on other forms of social media. The links to all of which will be in the description box down below. And I hope to see y'all next time. Bye! I am so happy. So happy with it. Y'all see this?